just so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, nobody made us, and no one can take this cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people, don't mess with this.
Now you slide up.
Now I slide the mics up. Yeah, something like that, right? I've never done this,
Back to the start of it all. We've come
Yeah,
full
no,
circle.
It definitely is. Good morning, to everybody. Man, a little bit of a challenge this morning. Brandon was out this morning. We did not know. He just forgot to mention. No big deal.
No big deal.
It took a second to get everything rocking and rolling, but here we are. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Went and hung out with the Dad's After Dark crew yesterday.
Oh, did you? How'd that go?
That was a good time.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a good show. Good
That's
show.
awesome, man.
We talked a lot about wiener residue. So
Wiener residue. I'm going to leave that one right where it is. I don't even need to know anything about that, man. I had a pretty wild day for me yesterday. A lot of real estate stuff that was weird, and I was having to manage and deal with. Sometimes you run into weird things like
what's a weird thing to run into in real estate?
In this case, it was everything on this transaction, helping this couple out, first-time buyers, had been green lights. Everything is green lights all the way.
Right.
Everything's been good. The inspection was great. Our offer was accepted. We got some concessions in it that were really helpful as far as taking care of closing costs and everything, And then the appraisal came in low.
Oh?
Yeah. So that becomes a big challenge.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden, the cushion that was in there that would help pay their closing costs now evaporates.
Right.
And so you're in an odd position where you got to figure out, do we punt? Do we try to rework it? What can we do here? What's the best outcome for us?
Right.
And so that's tricky. I had another one too. I had to run to Cersei yesterday and do a photo shoot on some land out there, and that was one of those things where I just had to uproot and do it. And but that wasn't the worst part of it. None of that was bad. It's just what you deal with,
Right.
But what was bad yesterday is, look, we moved, right? And so started cleaning out some of the yard and stuff like that. I look aggressively for poison ivy because I'm really allergic to it, And I avoid it at all costs because it gets bad. I don't know what I did get. I don't know if it's, poison sumac, poison ivy, whatever. But it was killing me for 3 days. And then yesterday I finally had to break down and do the hard work that you got to do, which is take a green scrub pad, scrub those things, and then pour alcohol on it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the only way to get the oil out.
Jeez.
So whatever it is I touched has ravaged me pretty good.
Right.
And it was brutal. I was having trouble sleeping for, 2 days because I was itching, so that sucks, man. Itching's like the worst
Dude,
almost.
it is, yeah, especially when it won't go away.
No, it just makes you mad,
Yeah.
because you keep waking up going, and then you start thinking, I'm just going to take a cheese grater and rub this bitch. Till I don't have a foot left. How about that? That'll stop the itching, right?
Oh, God, man.
No, I didn't do that. But, yeah, it was pretty brutal, so I'm going to see the doctor this morning and see if maybe he has a better option for me than what I'm having to do and get that taken care of because it's killing me. But
I bet, man. Thanks for making it here.
Yeah, man. Big thank you to everybody. I mean, so many people have been so kind on Facebook, whether it was on my page or the PATP page or, Instagram, wherever it's been. The outpouring of support and kindness has just been amazing, man.
Absolutely.
I've seen so many people, chime in and say things that were just, they're humbling to me. They're just humbling.
Right.
When people share what it has meant to them, to be part of the journey.
Absolutely.
It's pretty amazing. to hear that. And so I'm so thankful to everybody for that. And it does look like, based on early response, that the roast will be a sellout.
Man, I'm thinking so, man. There's without a doubt it's going to be.
Yeah,
I already getting excuse me if I could talk, getting text messages yesterday saying,
Yeah.
hey, how much are tickets? Where do we get them?
Working on that now. I'm supposed to be getting with Wayne to kind of work through this real quickly, and that's why I didn't even put a price on it yet, because I wanted to talk to the Looney Bin and make sure I'm following the right protocol that I need to follow,
Right.
and all of that. So hopefully we will connect up today and see if we can get that situated where we can get a link to it and everybody can go ahead and get their tickets in advance, because I do feel like this one is gonna be a great show. I know that it's gonna be so much fun, man. I'm so excited. Everybody's starting to message me and telling me they're working on their roast stuff, and they're all asking me about other people in the day, as what should I say about this one, or what about this one, or hey, listen to this. This is what I'm going to say about this person, and so it's enjoyable hearing everybody kind of buzzing about it and getting excited to take part in it. That's really cool. And then I've seen so many people. Excited to see Luke and Alex Vantage Ruins perform. That's a really big deal too. It's their Arkansas debut, and it's a real big deal. If you follow this show, you've watched just in this short time the meteoric rise of one Luke Shoemaker and Vantage Ruins, and so just as well as I do, this is going to be one of those things where you see somebody, and that 10 years from now you're going to look at them in some music video or at the Grammys accepting an award or some shit like that, and you're going to go, I watched that dude at the Looney Bin, the first show they ever did in Arkansas, and you're going to be like, damn, man, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
He deserves it, though.
Every bit of it and then some,
There's just, you ever see there's the difference. You see the people that sometimes, they get successful and you're kind of like, yeah, but you know that they took a whole bunch of shortcuts to get there.
Yeah, right.
And then there's the other side of the
That's
coin
right.
where you're like, finally, the good one made it.
Yeah.
And Luke is definitely that other side.
He is the other side, and he's a musician's musician, which I appreciate. He's very collaborative. He works with a lot of different people and helps write songs for other bands. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. He does session music. He's beyond talented. I mean, that's not even the correct word. He's probably a prodigy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, factually speaking, I'm not sure there's an instrument he can't play. Other than like a clarinet or something. I don't know if he does woodwind instruments, but as far as guitar, drum, keyboard, all of that, he does all that.
Yeah.
And anybody who can play that many instruments, to me, that's like a prodigy. I mean, I wish I could play one of those, even decently. And I would be excited about it. I wanted to be a drummer so bad when I was a kid, and they just broke my heart when they told me I didn't have rhythm. I do in certain ways, okay? Don't worry about that. I do have some rhythm, okay? Not completely void, but apparently when it comes to keeping, 3 or 4 beats in your head simultaneously, where, each foot and each hand are doing different things, that's not
Can't
really.
do the old, tap your head and rub your belly.
That's about as far as I can.
That's about as,
that's it. 2 beats is the max I can work on, So I'm real good if a drum goes boom, don't, don't, and any variation of don't. Yeah, I can do
Patrick's
that.
your guy. Yeah. You need it faster. You need it slow.
Yeah, you want it simple. I can do that for you. If you want to get into something else, I'm not that guy.
13 tracks. Of just
yeah, here's the jazzy version. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, man. I admire and slightly envy people who have that level of skill set, because that's not just something that you just pick up. It's something that you have.
Right.
It's like Adele when she opens her mouth. I mean, she didn't make that.
Pause.
To sing. Just saying. She didn't make that voice, but it's hers, and it's it's unlike any other.
Yeah.
And other artists like that you hear them sing and you just go, God, man, that is talent from God right there.
Right.
That's all that. That's just God given talent because you can't work for that. You just show up onto the planet and that's your voice. Much like this dumbass voice. As deep as my voice is, everybody used to think you must be like 6'5". They make me be like, no, he's not. It's a weird phenomena. So what's been going on with you, man? Anything interesting?
Oh man, just like I said, we're kind of there's a lot going on. Not a lot that I can talk about yet. But there's some big things coming on.
Well, we have been talking a little behind the scenes, and what I have heard is very intriguing and continues to demonstrate the opportunities that are arriving.
Absolutely.
And I'm super excited about it for you and for everybody involved for that matter. You said you had a story from somewhere near your hometown or something.
Yeah, let me look this up here real quick.
Yeah, I'm curious about this story. You were pretty excited when you came in to tell me, I got one today.
Right. Well, they had one of my friends had sent this to me yesterday,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, check out, what happened up here," and it was just one of those things of, you won't believe this, and then I was reading the story, and I was like, oh my God, thank you. Like that is a great story.
Yeah.
So, what had happened was this comes from this comes from Novi, Michigan. I'm looking up. Here we go.
Novi?
Novi, yep.
N-O-V-I?
N-O-V-I, you got it. You know why they call it Novi, don't you? No?
No. Why would I know that?
Honestly, right. Historically, it's because it was the 9th train stop on going from Detroit to Chicago.
Okay.
And so N-O-V-I and Novi. Yeah.
Okay, it makes
Roman
sense.
numerals,
Yes.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, I did not
Stupid
know
little fun fact for you
that.
today.
It is a cool
but,
fun
yeah.
fact, actually. I don't know that I'll ever use it, but I like
No,
it.
but it's
I
hey,
liked it.
you may be sitting next to somebody sometime. They're telling you a story about Novi, and
you go,
can be
hey,
like,
did
hey,
you know?
Right. 33-year-old man, Novi man, is in custody after allegedly.
Allegedly. I love how they put that. Allegedly.
After allegedly stealing an ambulance
What?
with the paramedic and the patient inside,
Oh, come on, man. Nobody's that big of an asshole.
and then crashing it into another vehicle.
Can't lay it out.
He was
What
arrested.
kind of meth head is this one?
They were arraigned on October 25th. They had they were
Why are you
charged.
saying they?
Sorry, Lee, the person.
I didn't know if they went
pronounce the
by
name.
they or not.
Right.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
It just says Lee was arraigned on
Okay.
Saturday, October 25th, according to court records, charged with carjacking, second-degree fleeing, and eluding an officer, 2 counts of assaulting, resisting, and obstructing a police officer, whole bunch of charges. But basically, the story goes, they were driving along, they crashed into a truck of some sort, might have been like a commercial truck or something.
Okay.
So that was the first accident.
Okay.
Fled that accident, hijacked an ambulance that had shown up to that accident with another person
Right.
inside and everything, and then took that ambulance and the police on a high-speed chase before he crashed it again.
So when he did crash, I mean, did it hurt the people in the back more?
You got me. I would imagine so, but
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe the paramedic back there is, strapping that gurney thing down. And going, well, this isn't going to end well. I'll at least protect this guy. I don't know. Maybe he strapped himself in. I don't know.
I don't know. It says, let's see. It says MedStar ambulance was treating multiple patients when the ambulance was stolen. MedStar and authorities were able to track the vehicle throughout the chase before it came to an end in a second crash in Northville Township. The paramedic, original patient, and patient in the vehicle struck in the second accident, and driver were all taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Okay. Well, still, the guy who was in the back of the ambulance, it was a bad day. for that guy.
Right.
Now, in fairness,
Talk about some Final Destination shit.
he does have one of the greatest stories of all time. Now. He'll never stop telling that story for the next 2-3 years. Every time you see that guy, he's going to be talking about, that's going to be the first thing out of his mouth.
Right.
Remember that? Yeah, we remember, Bob. Of course we remember, yeah. Yeah, twice, right, buddy? 2 times, right? Yeah. What'd you do? Hurt your wrist? Leave us alone.
Ontario's on Facebook listening, and he said the paramedic guy and the burger shake guy are secretly related.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meth guy from yesterday that shot the fireworks off.
Fireworks into the ceiling, we theorized,
kill that
the
roach.
Yeah, lobbing missiles at it. Like it was his own Star Wars system there. Yeah, no. Listen to this. I think you'll appreciate it. Let me just share this. Frida, the parent behind this summer's breast milk flavored ice cream.
What?
That's right. Do you remember? Everybody remembers this summer's favorite breast milk
Right,
flavored
man.
ice cream, right?
Couldn't wait for the ice cream truck.
You got a couple of cones of that at least, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, she's at it again, this time with candy inspired by the cold and flu season. Oh, okay. Well, what does that mean? Boogie Bites. Boogie Bites. Sweet, salty gummy candies designed to look exactly like boogers. It says delightfully disgusting shapes and colors. The boxes are $3.99. They're available through GoPuff delivery, whatever that is. Frida consulted with, quote, booger eaters, kids, to get the design right. Says boogers are gross, but Frida knows the grossest moments are the most universal. Apparently, these are vitamin C packed gummies.
Okay.
A germ-free alternative for kids. First of all, why? Why? Do we want to encourage people to eat boogers? This is something we want to do.
Apparently, stop picking your nose and eating your boogers. Eat one of these instead.
Eat these. These are
boogers.
healthy boogers.
Right, these are good
Yeah.
boogers.
Yeah, that's not going to work. If your kid's eating boogers, there's something else you need to have a conversation about. That's not meat, son.
On the other hand, though, brilliant marketing, because every 6, 7-year-old boy out there is going to want booger candy.
You think so?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Probably so.
They're all just gross little creatures, man. That's
You're
right up their alley.
You really are right about that. We are just simple, stupid.
Don't you remember being 6 and 7, man? Come on. Yeah. 6,
Yeah,
7.
that probably would have been funny.
Yeah.
6, 7.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
That's awesome, man.
Right.
That's great. Now you're 9. You're
Still
the
eating
same
boogers.
as the booger kid. Yeah. Those are the ones apparently yelling 6, 7 all the time. That the older kids are pissed off about it. Apparently, that's what these guys.
That's what they said the other day. Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of hearing 6, 7. All these little kids just yelling 6, 7 everywhere. They don't even know what the hell it means. There's 6, 7. I know some of you parents are hearing that shit at home too. I know damn well that you are.
They're the ones saying it.
Yeah.
We all joined in now. Yeah.
We're
We're going to kill this thing right away.
No,
What up, Mikey G?
I got $10. Says Patrick was a booger eater. Why do you say it in past tense? Once a booger eater, right?
Right.
Everybody gets hungry. They're booger jelly beans. That's gross. Little doggy said people love them. I believe that.
Yeah, those jelly belly beans.
Tactical said the gurney locks to the floor.
Oh, okay.
Has a frame it sits in. There's a seat in the back for the paramedic to strap into. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. I've wondered if something like that might be the case because that can't be the first patient in an ambulance hijack that ended in a wreck.
It can't be, but yeah.
No,
that's why they had to come up with the locking gurney in place. They're like, look, too many accidents and people flying out the doors. We need to secure these gurneys a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that. Yeah, the old, you remember the old movies where the ambulance doors would come open and somebody would slide out on the gurney?
Right, and just keep rolling down
That had to happen at some point. At some point that did actually happen.
Michael Glover says, wiener residue.
No, we're not. We're what you talk about after dark is your business. Okay? Let's continue down the candy path, so to speak. A trio of creepy costume figures caught on a Virginia family's doorbell camera sparked a police investigation. All right? You can understand. Listen, if you see your Ring doorbell camera,
right,
and there's 3 creepy ass people in costumes out there. That sounds like that movie.
Because we haven't talked enough about doorbell ditching and everything else.
Well, I'm just saying it's going to make you feel a type of way if you see that.
Right.
The incident turned out, you ready, to be a prank from their family. Yeah, the Alexandria PD opened an investigation into a potential attempted burglary plot after the 3 figures dressed in creepy Halloween costumes were recorded by the doorbell cam when they approached the front door. The department issued an appeal for information and asked nearby residents to check their own security camera for footage. The police chief said investigators have now determined it was teenage boys related to the residents. The teens had been assisted by 3 adult family members and another child. For me, my team in this community, it represents a moral failure. That's what he said, a moral failure where consequences could result in deadly consequences. Well, to some extent, that's true. But if you know your family members,
I mean, yeah, you would think.
you're not going to send someone to Uncle Rich's house if you think Uncle Rich
It's going to kill him? Yeah.
Yeah, who you're not going to send him to is Uncle Tactical's house. You're not going to send the kids to prank Uncle Tactical,
Yeah, that's probably not a good
No,
idea.
it's just not. I don't even know if they make it to the door, but to even show up there, they probably, way out before the door, he's already out, so no, that's probably bad.
He saw him coming up the road.
Yeah, no, he saw him in the drive, comes in and out of his driveway.
Got birds that are trained and owls and
He
stuff,
probably
and
does.
the way they,
He probably does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably talks to the owls.
I'm sure.
That makes sense. I could see that.
That's what I would think,
Yeah, no, that
He likes to spend a lot of time out in nature, man.
he does. As a matter of fact, he probably talks to him. Yeah. This is not a good story here. A popular YouTuber specializing in arts and crafts content
Oh, yeah?
charged with almost 30 counts of child porn.
Mm-mm.
Michael David Booth, 39, went by the handle Mr. Crafty Pants.
Because that wasn't a giveaway.
Not Mr. Crafty Pants, bro. What was going on in them crafty pants, son? His YouTube
More than you want to know.
Much more. His YouTube channel featured DIY crafts and tutorials, had amassed nearly 500,000 subscribers before it was taken down. The influencer had accounts on Instagram, Facebook, boasted hundreds of thousands of followers. His Instagram described him as, quote, a hot mess by nature, crafty by choice.
Mm.
And his content often appealed to kids, families, and creative people. So, yeah, that's they apparently they operated on an anonymous tip, and they did in fact find that stuff. That's unfortunate, especially when
That
you're
is,
Mr.
man.
Crafty Pants.
Right. I wonder if he's going to, craft the doll for the case.
I don't know, man. He's
Around the doll.
looks like he crafted himself a trip down
Death.
BH Alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they probably will take him out.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Crafty Pants.
Yeah,
will
Mr.
die.
Crafty Pants is...
Yeah, he'll die.
done.
Yeah, they don't like that.
He's gonna be
They don't like that.
They'll be in prison, and they're going to be like, hey, Crafty Pants, let me show you how we craft some shivs around
Yeah,
here.
we've crafted something for you.
Yeah, we got something just for you.
Yeah, no, Mr. Crafty Pants will be Mr. Dead Pants.
Not that he don't deserve it. but-
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything about it, but yeah, sometimes things happen, don't they?
Yeah. It's nice when, the world just takes care of certain
I
problems on
do
its
appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
It's like
I
doing the Lord's work there, man. Yeah, good job. Yeah.
no, go ahead and
Go ahead and...
take the trash out.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, I always like it when guys have life already and they're like, yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here
I'm
anyway.
yeah.
So I just handled it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks,
That's
man.
cool.
Way to-
Maybe we'll give you a little time off.
Right. We'll let you out for, next year week.
Yeah.
Give you an extra conjugal visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is wild. Again, I tell you that the world, a lot of people are just snapping, man. There's a lot of people snapping right now, just losing their shit, man. A couple caught on security camera having sex inside an Arizona restaurant capped off their steamy encounter by stealing cash, liquor, and a phone. Tried to rob them. Scottsdale police investigating the early morning break-in. a rose-themed restaurant in the Old Town section of Scottsdale, known for its pink decor and Instagram-ready displays. Why did I read that? I don't know.
Right.
But the owner said the burglary began about 3:50 in the morning. Security footage showed a man and a woman enter the property, have sex among the floral decorations near the outdoor patio seating area, then force their way inside. They got caught in the moment. There's roses everywhere. Maybe it was kind of romantic, but modern day Bonnie and Clyde. When employees arrived, they found the evidence of a break-in and what happened before it. What was the evidence of what happened before it?
Yeah, what is...
The first thing I noticed was the whole stand was totally like torn apart. There were things all over it. The suspects made off with $450 in cash, an iPhone 5, and a bottle of, what was the bottle? Oh, Bacardi.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah. The doors were damaged during the burglary. The pair were seen were wearing masks before taking them off, giving investigators a clear look at their faces. Great job, everybody.
Right.
Yeah. Now they probably took them off to have sex.
Man, I can't breathe in this thing.
Yeah, no, this is too much. Yeah, so they'll be caught soon for being idiots, and they'll become folk heroes because they had sex before.
I was
they
going to
robbed
say,
them.
this sounds like some...
Like bizarre fantasy. That
Yeah.
carried out, like a dark fantasy, like,
I really want to just bang
just want to,
in a restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then maybe rob them just one time.
Just once.
Yeah, just one time.
We can celebrate by eating each other's boogers afterwards.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Because sleeping with someone on the floor of a restaurant isn't any more disgusting.
Well, that's pretty bad on its own, isn't it, buddy? You're right
And all
about
the
that.
grease and, yeah.
You're right. You're right about that. You're absolutely right. All right. Well, here's a couple of problems for men. Again, people snap. It's happening. As part of a divorce agreement with his wife, a Turkish man has agreed to pay $240 every 3 months as child support for their 2 cats. Fuck those cats, man. You'll never get a penny from me. Not for a damn cat. Go to hell. No. You're not getting a penny from me and your stink-ass cats. Litter box and whatnot. Hell no. Put me in prison or I'll send you $240 for a cat. I'll send you $240 in bullets to get rid of the cat. How about that? I'll send you $240 worth of a mallet, Bugra, who lives in Istanbul, filed for a mutually agreed upon divorce from his wife, citing severe incompatibility and a breakdown in the foundation of their marriage. They agreed to end the marriage, haven't sought any alimony or compensation from each other, but they did include the $240 every 3 months for cat payments.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to make a joke about paying.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. You want to make a joke about paying what?
Well, what's another name for a cat? I'm not going to make it's too early to make that joke, but I wanted to. I thought about it a lot in my head. About 8 times I said it. Then I said, nah, I'll save it.
Well, you
but
know.
that's crazy that you're paying cat support.
Your pets are like your children.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on in Turkey, but they should stop drinking. I'll tell you that. Maybe it's the hashish. This guy, now this is also in Turkey. A lot of things going on in Turkey, okay? A lot of things happening in Turkey this week, I guess. But a Turkish court ordered a man to pay his ex-wife compensation for material and moral damages after he saved her number in his phone's contact list under the name Chubby. Stop, Patrick, stop. I mean, come on, man. It's like the least. I mean, it's not, it's not
The
like
least
it's-
offensive
it's not
thing
like
you
it's
could-
bitch,
right.
or the C word, or battle axe.
Maybe he just named her that because every time he thinks about her, he gets a little chub, little
Just
chubby.
Spouses often come up with nicknames for each other, some more endearing than others. Rarely do they end up a reason for divorce. Though, as was the case with the Turkish couple who broke up over how the husband had his wife's name saved in his phone. They ruled that the woman should be compensated for being saved as Chubby.
Tubby.
The nickname,
Better be careful, man. You're going to get sued in Turkey.
came to light during court proceedings as the couple went through the divorce, and the woman claimed the derogatory nickname was degrading and damaging to their relationship.
Wow.
Well, I mean, yeah, you probably, it's not going to go well if you keep calling your wife Chubby. That's probably not going to work out real good for you, I'll be honest. It's not going to result the way you'd like.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't see a world where that works. You know, I mean, that's probably not going to do it. Unless you got if it's ironic, like she's super skinny, like can't gain weight skinny, Kate Moss skinny, then it'd be kind of funny if you called her Chubby.
Yeah, no. Even
Chubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tubs. You know, something like that. Fat ass, lard ass. If she's super skinny, that's the only
Even
one.
then, no, because then she's going to be like,
She's going to get a complex.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, you're probably right about that. Yeah, that's pretty wild. In Turkey, it sounds like things are a little weird over there.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what's going on there, but cat support and getting a divorce because you put her name as Chubby in your phone. That's special. This is interesting, not necessarily a good thing. Amazon announced a new round of major job layoffs, cutting as many as 14,000. The retailer announced the job cuts in a statement released Tuesday, a day after multiple media outlets reported it was going to happen. They highlighted they would ramp up spending on, guess what? AI.
Oh.
The reductions we're sharing today are a continuation of the work to get even stronger by further reducing bureaucracy, removing layers, and shifting resources to ensure we're investing in our biggest bets and what matters most to our customers' current and future needs. That's let's see.
It's a fancy way of saying we don't care about real
Stronger
people.
by reducing bureaucracy, people.
Right.
Removing layers, more people.
Right.
And shifting resources, more people shifted out the door.
Because robots don't have rights, so we can just work them 24/7.
AI, it does the job. They do have robots at Amazon.
Yeah.
They do. Amazon said it would give most employees who are impacted by the layoffs 3 months to look for a new role internally, though timing may depend on where you're at.
Right.
Additionally, the company said it would offer severance pay, outplacement services, health insurance benefits, and more to those who can't or choose not to stay with Amazon. So I guess they're at least offering them a chance to find a new role in the company.
That's about the way it works, yeah.
Yeah.
Went through that myself. Yeah, I was going to say, that's step by step what we went through, yep.
Looking ahead, so we expect to continue hiring key strategic areas while also finding additional places we can remove layers, i.e. people, and realize efficiency, i.e. less people. So, yeah, just know that if you work there, that's what's going on. You probably already know. But at least they're give you maybe another opportunity to find a different spot. That worked out pretty well for you in this case.
I mean, it did. Yeah, it did. I was just Googling here because I was kind of wondering, how long, realistically, how long could it be until AI is just able to take over, like, every paying job in the U.S.?
Well, every job?
I mean, yeah, for lack of a better term. I guess I should say every entry-level job where you don't have to have some, like, type of, like, special, because it seems...
That's tough, right?
It seems that way, man.
It does.
I mean, really,
if
you have that basic, set of skills.
I'd say 50 years, but I could be way wrong.
Yeah.
I could be way wrong. It could be 20, 25.
This says it depends. All right, so here we go. So this says it depends. Short term, here's a breakdown of the best current projections. Says short term, anytime between now, today, and 2030, so 5 years from now.
Okay.
AI will probably have completely taken over all customer service, data entry, some accounting, Transcriptions and logistics scheduling
I
jobs.
could see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All that makes sense and probably will be more efficient.
Right. And then says medium term by 2030 to 2045, AI will begin to replace entire roles and sectors like transportation with self-driving cars and taxis, manufacturing, call centers, and even parts of media and marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too. I think,
Says AI will replace most parts of jobs within the next 10 years.
interesting. I think that there'll have to be a solution to this challenge at some point. Now, what that solution is, what it looks like, I don't know. But so my best guess is that, look, for a company to succeed, it has to have customers.
Right.
Okay, in order to have customers, customers have to have purchase power. So I don't know if it's going to be the companies, but somehow, if you're getting rid of the jobs,
Right.
So what does that lead people to do? I guess whatever they want to do.
I mean,
But you have to have money to do whatever you want to
right.
do. So I'm going to guess that there'll be some kind of corporate fund that all these companies contribute to that amounts to some kind of basic level income everybody's going to get.
Right.
So,
Socialism.
yeah, more or less, in a way of speaking, all these companies will pay so you'll buy from them.
Right.
Basically, you know what I mean? But that's just my first thought on that. I don't know. There has to be something, but there's going to be this period that's going to be difficult.
It's gonna, man.
It's going to be difficult. There's going to be this period where they're not ready to compensate everyone, but at the same time, there's going to be an appreciable amount of people without jobs.
I think it's gonna be sort of like another weird technological Great Depression or something, man. Really.
It's going to be something. I just don't know
just,
what.
yeah.
I mean, I would love to think that the best minds in the world are thinking about this and trying to find a strategy, but I've seen Armageddon,
Yeah.
and I know that they're like, but you're NASA, right? You got all kinds of backup plans, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's how I feel like it's going to
Enough
be.
to maybe save themselves.
Yeah, they got everything carved out for self. They got their bunkers, they got their little, long-term cave dwelling things they paid to have made where they can go live and, have 100 years of food and water and everything and don't need anything.
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Maybe. You might not, but some of us will.
Look, AI, more or less, kind of. I mean, in a roundabout way of speaking, AI took my job.
Yeah.
At the other radio station. Yes.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, you're absolutely
In a way,
right.
even though I left, I quit.
Right.
I quit because they would not allow me to have the show I wanted to have.
Right.
And so I'd always suspected, because it never made any sense to me. Logically speaking, there was absolutely no reason they would say no to what the proposal I made, any of them for that matter.
Right.
There was no logical reason. Because I'm like, this makes sense. Locally, it makes sense to the listener. It's going to make sense to the advertisers. We're going to have a more diverse program that's going to, reach people in a different way. I think we have a shot to really break through and be not just number one, men 25 to 54, but number
Right.
one, period.
Right.
And I had a very compelling. I put together quite a proposal. I mean, it was multiple pages of data that I had put together.
You put the research and everything. You had a package.
I had the numbers.
Right.
I had everything carved out. I'm like, so here's how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to do. This is the blueprint. Here's how much it's going to generate. This is where it's going to generate more. This is how it's going to do this.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, this is a roadmap.
Right.
Right. I've been waiting on shit. This was not something I was unexpected. I mean, it was unexpected, but it wasn't.
Right.
I had been prepping for it for years and saving the data of everything that I had accomplished in that time. You know what I mean? And so it never made sense to me initially. And then I started to think, unless that there's already a written plan, which big companies do, which is this that we are phasing this one out.
Right.
You know, now what does that mean, phasing it out? Does that mean that it's just piped in stuff, syndicated stuff? You know, because there's no humans,
Right.
really, the sales
That's
team.
what we call a robot station in the
Yeah, or
which is what many of your radio stations are now.
most of them. Or are they going to flip it? You know, which is it's very likely they'd like to sell it.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. They'd love to
Who's
sell
gonna
it.
who buys? I mean,
Well, that's the problem. You know, that's the problem. Look,
it's not like I see anybody going
mean,
around going, "Hey, if you
let's-
know where a
let's
radio
just-
station is for sale
no,
by
let's
any
just,
chance?"
Just pull the curtain back. First of all, people may not remember iHeart was Clear Channel.
Right.
Clear Channel was an outdoor sign company.
Right.
That's what they were, a billboard company. And they had money, and they decided to go buy radio stations. Well, they bought them in the opposite way you should buy anything. They bought them high,
Yeah.
you know, and they bought a bunch of them because they thought, oh, this makes sense. We're a sign company. We could be we could have everything,
Right.
you know. Clear Channel never understood what they struggled with what they bought, you know, and they had a lot of problems. Then they brought in, the guy who, and I'm trying to remember his name. Is it Pittman? Maybe. It's been a minute, but he was the one who launched MTV and some other things like that. And he was kind of a tech wizard.
Right. Okay.
So they brought him in, and the first thing he did is let's change the name of the company. You know, so iHeart wasn't a different company. It's the same company, different name.
And Clear Channel already was.
Yeah. Clear Channel had a bad rep.
Yeah, they were.
You know, so they changed the name, they rebranded it, and I'll give him this. He was brilliant when he put in the iHeart app.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said, I'm kind of promoting my replacement in a manner of
Right.
speaking, right? I mean, kind of.
You are. I
You
mean,
know.
yeah.
Now I learned to leverage it and use it to expand us versus being afraid of it. But I did factually know that ultimately that's the thing. You know, is look, it's become more and more curated music. It's your playlist or what you want to hear or you know what you want to listen to right now.
Right.
As opposed to people being forced to log in or be on the radio listening at 6 in the morning.
Right.
You know, now you listen to shows when you want to listen to shows, right? Just like when you watch shows at home.
Right.
You know, you used
got on
to have
demand.
to show up at 7 o'clock if you wanted to see whatever that show was at 7 o'clock, because otherwise you weren't going to see that shit.
And if it was an interesting show that you wanted to see every bit of, you had to go to the bathroom during the commercial breaks. You didn't have pause.
I mean, that's right. That is exactly right. And so just like they did with television, they're doing with the radio.
Yeah.
And so you're right. Radio has become, because of this, it's become the most corporatized thing ever. So you have everybody talking about a different kind of nonsense, not the nonsense we talk about,
Right.
but nonsense. You know, shit that's inconsequential. It doesn't matter. It's not challenging the way you think.
Well,
It's not
everything
gonna
is
be-
so cookie cutter.
That's
now,
it.
Man.
That's exactly what
They
it
want you
is.
to do a 30-second break and post up to the next song and get the next song out there and then play 4 or 5 songs
No,
and
that's-
rinse and
it's-
repeat.
No, it's our formula. Every time that we went to a commercial break, it was going to be at least 6 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Of commercials, 6 minutes and a song.
And
That's
you have
10
your little
minutes.
clock right there, you know, that
Yeah,
broke
we
down.
watched
yeah.
the clock, and so we know exactly what was going on. And I always thought, you know, it was way too long of commercials, but they don't care
Nope.
because it doesn't matter.
Well, and that's what
You know?
what pays the bills, for
Right.
lack of a better
And
term.
I get
mean,
that it pays the bills, and that's fine. It works, but now, is it worth it when you're listening to that milquetoast entertainment that you're getting?
Right.
And is it? Not really. It's safe in your car, you know, and
Right.
and that's what it's for. It's for people in their car who don't use other technology, who aren't using Bluetooth, who aren't tied into another gizmo,
who don't have
still push a
Spotify
radio button.
and
Yes.
YouTube on their phones.
Yeah, and so they got to listen to something, and so that's what they listen to.
But you start doing that, man, and all of
But
a
if
sudden you're
I mean, honestly, and I don't mean it to be a jerk, but I look at the difference in radio now versus then, because and this is just the way the world works. I'm not bitching. It's not that at all. But when I was a kid, the radio people were, I mean, they were everything.
Those
man.
were the guys, yeah.
were-
Those were the ones you wanted to meet.
They were the coolest people in the world. You had to meet them, right? You didn't know what they looked like. You didn't know any. You just heard their voice, and they were awesome.
Right.
You
They were
know,
entertaining. You connected to them.
And so you'd show up at some car lot or some business where, you know, maybe you'd get yourself a CD or something like that, you know, get an autograph or, you know, some kind of merch, you know, a shirt, if you were lucky, right? And so you had these legacy personalities who were bigger than life.
Right.
People still talk about them, the Craig O'Neills as a radio personality, the Tommy Smiths, the Broadway Joes, all of these folks, the Corey and Jays, the Corey and Patricks.
I remember when I was a kid, I was raised on oldies radio, like Elvis,
Yes,
you know,
yes, yes.
50s and
Sure, of
60s
course.
music. So in the morning when I was getting ready for school, we'd be listening to, it was Cool 107. It was Lucy Ann Lance in the morning, and there was another guy or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
anyways, I'd always call in, request a song. They invited me in as a kid one time
That's
into
cool.
the station, but that was it. Like that was a huge moment. I'm
That
going to
was a
meet
big
a
deal.
radio personality.
That was
like
a big deal. You know, it was a huge deal to go up to a radio station and be able to come in the actual radio station.
right,
where
and
they
see
do
everything.
this.
Yeah, are you kidding? That was
No,
that
I
was
mean,
the dream.
I can't tell you the number of people that came into the radio station when I was there who were so excited just to come in and see how the donuts are made. You
Right.
know what I mean? Just to see how the process works, what's going on. And so now, if you think about, you know, other than the legacy personalities who are still hanging in there, i.e., Broadway Joe.
Right.
You know, Broadway Joe's still hanging in there.
Again, you got to think that's just because of all the syndications and everything.
I mean, but other than that, I mean, look around the landscape of your radio morning and tell me which of these people inspire you to run to a radio station or to a car lot to see them or any of that who really move the needle for you and go, God, that's the funniest thing I ever heard in my life, or that's the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. You know, whatever it may be that floats your boat.
Right.
And you'll find that it's not there. And that's why so many people now, they're going to podcasts, they're going to things like that, where they're just like, screw it, I'll just put this on in the morning, I'm good.
I can be my own
You know? What it
production manager.
What it does do, though, is it negates this connection that a community has. Because as silly as it sounds, you know, sharing a radio program amongst the community is a potent connection factor.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, you know, growing up that what radio station you listen to, I listen to this. Oh, me too.
Right.
Me too. Yeah, you know, and that was a bonding point, and you would talk about, you know, what happened on the show and what went on that day. Now that's beginning, you know,
Do you remember when Patrick got Corey to run him around the parking lot in a rickshaw?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. That kind of shit right there, you know. And so now you don't have that water cooler, so to speak. Of course, you have social media, but you know what happens when you go on there. It's not the same.
Right.
You know, you go on there and in 30 seconds, somebody's mad and the people are squabbling. You know, it's like the worst reunion ever.
Right.
You know, you just get on there and you're like, ah. You know, so it's just, it's not the same. What are the people saying, man? Anything?
They are saying lots of things now. Let's see. Bundy said, dude, I remember Patrick always locking himself out during the commercial/smoke breaks.
Yeah, the first couple of years, bro. First couple of years, Corey got real mad.
Tactical said, and coming in late and hungover.
Yeah. No, I've done all that. I did all that, you know. It took me a minute to assimilate to radio professional. I was used to being the rogue salesperson who kind of got away with what he wanted to. I had to adapt myself to be a professional and go, I should show up every day on time. I should not lock myself out of the studio when I'm smoking.
I'm glad to see those lessons have paid off.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No.
Mistress says, "Oh yeah, calling into the shows were always so much fun on a Friday, Saturday night." Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They'd have the dance parties on,
Yeah,
you
you'd be
know,
called, try to get your request in.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe it'd be the
to
where
talk
you
about a topic or
or
something.
or you'd call and dedicate a song to your girl,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
vice versa. Be like, you got to listen to the radio tonight. You got to
Yeah.
listen tonight.
Right,
You got
right.
to listen. Why? You just got to listen.
gotta, yeah.
You know. Oh, okay. You know. So yeah. Let's see. What?
Little doggy said, "For me, going to watch midget wrestling with Rich Rockwell. I was a fan already, but he picked up a chick there. I know he's a wizard."
Yeah, that's probably true. You are a wizard, to my understanding. That's true. When I met Randy Rainwater, I was disappointed. Then I was amazed. I thought he would have a notebook full of info, nothing but a table. LOL, a badass. Yeah, you know what? Say what you want about Randy, and I never really loved that show. It was annoying to me. Randy, I'd like to ask you about the Magnolia Dung Beetles this year. How they going to do? I'll hang up and listen. I can't listen to that. Those booger eaters. Yeah, it's a call-in sports show. That's how. Swear to God, that's how the calls sound, man. Swear to God, I'm not even joking. They'd call Randy. I want to ask you about El Dorado, the El Dorado stud muffins. How are they going to do in basketball this year? I'll hang up and listen.
Oh, man.
First time caller, long time listener. Thanks, Randy. You know,
Yeah.
and so Randy was like just a human catalog of everything in sports in Arkansas, and he
Yeah.
could just blah, 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 just spit
rattle
stuff
it out,
out.
yep.
And then he had this guy named Rick with him, who was Rick Schaefer, and Rick was even more of a catalog. Rick was like Wikipedia before Wikipedia. He'd just go, Rick, what? And Rick would be like 1972, and he'd just be like, Jesus Christ, man, how do you know that? You savant, you know.
Tyler Burnside commented and said he remembers listening to the radio to win tickets.
Say that again.
Listening to the radio to win tickets to a contest or something.
Oh my God! How many times did you call in to try to win concert tickets?
How many times being in the station did you just either A, pick up the phone on the first call and be like, "Yeah, you're caller number 9," or B, be like, "Hey, I know you want these tickets."
Let me tell you what's funny about that is I would be guy 1.
Yep.
Yeah. I just wait till it rings a few times, pick it up, go, you're caller 9.
Yep.
Corey was not. He was a by the book dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he'd be like,
He'd count them all down.
He would. He'd be like, "You're caller 1. Try again." And your caller 2, try again.
Nuh-uh.
Your caller
We ain't
3,
got
try
time
again.
for that.
And so I was like, I can't even believe this. So when he would do it, I'd just start yelling in the background, "Loser! Loser! Loser!" It became kind of a thing that happened, you know. I just call you a loser, and yeah, he didn't understand that. Oh man.
Turkey said he must have called thousands of times trying to win one of the 12 guitars for Christmas.
Everybody did. That was one of maybe the greatest promotions I've ever seen in my life. That was a Matt Cruz thing. Matt Cruz came up with that concept, I believe, and it was brilliant. It was one of the most beloved contests ever.
Right.
And people would absolutely lose their mind when they would get in. Like, I've been trying for 6 years to get in. And they meant that shit, man. I mean, because thousands upon thousands were calling at the same time because it was that big a deal, you know, to win a guitar signed by your favorite rock band or one of them.
Yeah.
You know, and it was really cool concept because you'd have these 12 guitars, and then you'd have 6 in the bonus stash or however many, and so you could take one of the 12, you know, or the one that was called out for the day, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you could swap it for one in the bonus stash, you know, and so yeah, it was a hell of a
Dude, it was. I remember that.
Yeah,
I never
it's a
called
big
to
deal.
try and win because I was like, there's no chance. But
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never won anything off the radio, you know. No special contest. I could enter a contest I could be the only one that enters the contest and still find a way to lose.
Yeah, that's
Like,
funny.
it's just,
Let's take a break. We'll talk about more radio contests and stuff when we come back. That's interesting. We'll be back in just a minute. Yeah. There we go.
I'ma take it there. Try not to rage out, but I'm getting the itch. I think I'm losing my shit. It's called a turn signal, bitch. Damn. Proximity alert. Too many cars on the road. And right now I'm Dr. Jekyll, but going into Mr. Hyde mode. Damn. On your ass when I put my footprint. Road rage warning. Road rage imminent. Road rage commencing in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Speedometer went to sleep, sitting still just guzzling gas. Knob jockey in the jacked up Jeep is all up on my ass. Oh hell no, too much caffeine. Drop the oil slick, hit up the smoke screen. Richard Cheddar in the Beamer, he got something to flaunt. Light up the missiles, ready to launch. Fire one, fire two, boom, bitch, damn. On your ass, wanna put my footprint. Road rage warning, road rage imminent. Road rage commencing in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Lights green, what the hell you waiting for? Now I got no time to hit up the convenience store. Blue hair, don't care, just trying to get from here to there. I don't even want to lose my shit. But it's called the slow lane. Get in it, you prick. Pull up on me, brake checking a bird. 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 On your ass, wanna put my footprint. Road rage warning, road rage imminent. Road rage commencing in 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1.
My man said, "Who does that song? I love it." I did that song. All the songs almost that you hear on here, I made. I wrote the lyrics, but I use AI to make them. Matter of fact, I've graduated slowly but surely in AI to better and better programs. And man, this one that I'm working with is super robust. And so I've been working on an album behind the scenes, and I'm super excited. Hope to have it out. Probably, hopefully, maybe by the first week of December if everything goes well with the producer. But I have sent out the raw tracks to a handful of people to check out, and I'm very encouraged by the results so far. So, I mean,
Nice.
I've got some good results from it. But thanks for that, man, saying you love the song. I'm glad you like it. It was fun to do that one.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
In all your, because I know we're doing, we had mentioned yesterday, and I've
Yeah.
been thinking of more questions to ask about
Yeah.
your career and everything. And
Okay.
please, people chime in. Also, if you have a question that you want to ask,
ask
but
whatever. It doesn't matter.
what's
There's no
what's
secrets anymore.
right? What's the weirdest call-in or listener interaction you've ever had?
That's an easy. The weirdest listener interaction I've ever had was when I first gotten promoted from being the guy that came in on Friday to the co-host.
Yeah.
And I'd been there a couple of years. And we had that morning, we were talking about a couple different problems. One of them was we had a problem with Canadian geese. The geese that were overpopulated, and there was a big problem with them in the park and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And then we also later did a thing where we were talking about Aaron and the van and the homeless. We were promoting Aaron and helping him with something.
All right. Yeah, yeah.
So I I was at home, and at that time, I would every day after the show, I would go home and I would do this crazy thing called take a nap. Because getting up at 4 was really messing with me at that time.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was really
More than it messes with you now?
Yeah. No, not really. But no matter what, that's what I did. And
Right.
so I just laid down probably 10 minutes, and my wife comes to the room and goes, "Hey, there's somebody here to see you." And I said, "Babe, I'm laying down. I mean, who is it?" She goes, I don't know. It's a listener." I said, "A listener?"
What?
I said, "What?" That's exactly what I said. What? And she said, "Well, will you talk to him?" I don't know. I said, "Yeah, let me get up,
Right.
Now, first of all, you've interrupted my nap.
So I'm already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already woke the bear.
Not real tickled already.
Right.
I'm kind of not, and I'm very flat. I'm like, I'm a listener. It's like I don't have a published address. People don't know where I live.
Right.
It's not like it's out there. And I've only been on.
Did I tell somebody to
I've
stop by
only
the
been
house?
on like 2 years now. So it's not like everybody knew everything about me yet.
Right.
And so I open the door, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I shake his hand because that's what I'm going to do. And I said, "What's going on, man? What's up?" And he goes, "Well, I was listening to you this morning." Okay. "And I heard you talking about, the geese." "Okay, yeah, sure did."
Okay, right.
And I'm like, "Where are we going here?"
Right.
And he's like,
I've been getting more and more pissed off by the second. Like,
I
what's
was
your
start-
point, man?
I was starting to get aggravated. And he said, "And I was listening to you talk about the homeless, right?" "Yes." So I thought, what if we take the geese and we kill them and use them to feed the homeless? And I said, I appreciate that. And that's a great idea. I said, but, I don't represent the geese or that organization. You understand? I'm just a radio personality sharing the news, right?
Right.
I can't really do anything with that.
It's a great idea. I don't know why we
said,
didn't. Let me just get on the horn and
Yeah,
let them know.
But since we're talking now, I'm just curious. How did you know I lived here? How did you know? And he said, "Oh, I was on a landscape crew like 6 months ago, and we had done some work here for you."
Nuh-uh.
And I said, "Well, let me say this, my man." I said, "I appreciate you coming by, but don't ever do it again."
Right.
I said, "Not to be a jerk, but I try to separate my personal life and my radio life, and so just having people show up randomly is real disconcerting."
Yeah.
You understand? You can understand that. So let's not. And that to me was probably one of the weirdest interactions. I shut
Who
the door.
does that?
My wife was standing behind the door with a butcher knife. I was like, "Put that shit up, man." I didn't know what was going to happen. That's the
She was looking for her out on you, man.
That's the
She-
Latina in her.
Right.
She will kill, so that was great, man. That was great. Yeah, so that's a good question, though. You were talking earlier about radio contests, man. In that time, man, back in the 70s, 80s, even into the mid 90s, probably late 90s, even. Winning things at the radio station was the greatest.
Yeah.
Albums, this, that.
Oh,
the
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up back in the day of Magic 105 when I was just a listener like anybody else.
Right.
They had a contest where you had to write a poem. I know it sounds silly, about Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker.
Okay.
If you wanted to sing backup for him at his show at Riverfront.
Okay.
I won that motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sure did. Sure did win that, and that was dope as hell to win that, man. I was like, I can't believe I won that, and got to sing backup with Sammy Hagar. He was cool as a fan too, man. Just the nicest cat, man. Super nice. Just real excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was so warm, so genuine and kind. He didn't look past me or anything like that. He literally sat and talked to me, and this is what we're going to
That's
do.
awesome,
Da-da-da.
man. Yeah.
It was cool. Now he's about this tall,
Wow.
He's a little bitty dude, man. With the afro, he might be 5'4". You know what I'm saying? with the big bushel of hair he had. You know, he was not a tall guy, but he was really, really cool. Chris is asking the hard questions. Fuck no, we didn't make the same money. Chris said, did you make the same money as Corey being partners? No. No, I did not. Now, in fairness to him, he had been doing it for 30 years. I mean, man, he's a giant amongst giants when it comes to legacy media personalities. Mm-hmm. So I never really honestly expected to earn the same amount as he did. I would have liked to have earned close to what he did. That did not happen.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you the truth. Completely transparent here. So when I took that job, at that time, I was employed by Comcast, and I was the sales director for residential Arkansas. So I was over all of the salespeople who went out and would knock on your door, talk to you about cable, or go to apartments, talk to them about getting cable hooked up, things like that, right? I was over that entire team for the state of Arkansas. And I made pretty good money there. I was making at that time about $75,000 a year, which was decent money then,
right?
You know, because that was 2010, 2011 area, you know, so that's pretty good money then.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't bad. I was okay with it, you know. And so, I'd been working to hopefully get the position full time. And so when they finally said, yeah, we want you, it was one of the single greatest moments of my life.
Right.
You know, I was like, I can't believe it. I did it.
Right.
I did it, man. I did it, you know. And then, so, you know, they took me in to show me a contract. You know, so here's the offer we'd like to make to you. And I looked at it, and just as excited as I was equally devastated by that. Because I looked at it, and I looked at him, and I said, man, I can't believe I'm going to say this to you. Because this job is my dream job. It's all I've ever wanted in my life, is to be this. I said, but I can't take $35,000 a year, bro. That's what they offered me, $35,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't even go home to my wife with that.
Right.
I have a family to take care of, and that's not even a reasonable amount of money.
Right.
And
what up, Josh?
And he was like, well, how much do you need? I said, well, I make 75 now.
I need at least that.
And he said, yeah. And I said, yeah. And so he went back, and we worked back and forth. And finally, they came up to 50.
Okay.
And said, you know, plus you'll have endorsements. And so for the first couple of years, I probably made $55,000-$60,000.
Yeah.
You know, now by the time I left, I had equaled what I was making.
Previously, yeah, when you left it, yeah.
10 years before, whatever it was, 7 years before, I finally got to that level. You know, I never made six figures in that ever.
Right.
You know, but it wasn't about making the most or anything like that. As long as I could make a living.
Right.
I was happy. You know, and so I was able to work
because the
that.
fringe benefits of it all were.
Absolutely. There were lots of fringe benefits.
That's what look, the number one thing when I was going through college for radio broadcasting and the small career that I had in broadcasting on, we'll say terrestrial radio stations, what they call it now.
Terrestrial, yeah.
But yeah, that was the first thing I learned was low pay, long hours. But if you're a celebrity in that local town on the radio, you're taken care of.
No, that's Bob Robbins was the prime example of that. That dude made more money in doing remotes than anybody I've ever known. Maybe anybody.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, he was the hardest working dude because what had happened was that he had invested money in Clear Channel, and that stock bellied up.
Right.
And it basically wiped his retirement. And so he had to scramble to take care of that. So he just said, "You give me every remote you can give me."
Gotcha.
And that dude would work 2-3 remotes every weekend, and he was making good money doing it. But he also had a lot of commercials. People loved him for commercials, you know. And so he made a really good income from that, you know. And so that's exactly right. If you were of the people and people loved you, then you could make more. And so it enabled me to do so in multiple ways.
Absolutely.
You know, obviously with endorsements and commercials, but also, you know, being able to do stand up, being able to do other things on the side and promote that.
Right.
You know, none of that stuff was I supposed to be able to do, by the way. I was not supposed to be able to promote anything else I did, but
you did.
I did. Yeah, I did. They didn't get funny till I started doing real estate.
Yeah.
That's when they were like, hey, can't promote that.
Can't be doing that.
I'm like, this is the thing you want to, this is now you want to say something after all the shit I've pimped and done on this show. You want to talk about the real estate's the
now
thing
you can't sell how. Look, you can do comedy, you can do everything else.
Yeah, you can do all that, but you're not going to do that. Can you answer a question about real estate of how Robert Kiyosaki, is that what it says? Kawasaki?
Yeah.
Does real estate make money? I'm not sure what this question is. It's kind
I'm not quite sure either.
But let me just say this. Can you make money doing real estate? Absolutely you can. I mean, I think, look, real estate, like insurance, like any other self-employment business, is going to reward you for the work that you do. Now, do you need to be sharp? Do you need to be pretty quick thinking? Yeah, you do. Yeah. You really do. Lots of people make money in real estate, and there are different ways to make money in real estate. Some people, you know, are part-time and they make decent money doing it part-time. You might sell, you know, a house every couple months or something and make yourself a little bit of money.
Right.
And some people do that, but there's a significant cost barrier to being a real estate agent. First of all, I mean, I pay a few $1,000s a year to play. You know,
right.
That's for the memberships and my licensure and the classes I have to take and stuff like that. So I have to pay to play, number one. Number two, though, is yes, if you work hard, you can make money doing it. But it's not for everybody. Listen, I've spent 20 plus years in sales, so I know how to talk to people. I know how to work with people. I know a lot of people, and that all helps. So I'm not sure I'm a fair comparison to anyone who would just start out in it. You know, I would tell you that if you think you have the gift of gab, you've never met a stranger, and you have sales ability, then yes, you can do well in real estate. If you don't like being on the go all the time, talking to people all the time, riding the roller coaster of emotions that you do, and having to hustle nonstop, then real estate's probably not for you. It's a hustler career.
Right.
There's no more of a hustle that you have to work. And by hustle, I mean you got to always be hustling.
Right.
You've got to always be churning the waters because I'm only as good as my last deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's facts. I mean, if the family's going to eat, you know.
It's just funny you mentioned that. That's a radio thing, too.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your last break.
You're only as good as your last show. That's right. Speaking of that, listen, I've got to go to the doctor. So are we going to wrap?
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap up. I've got,
Okay.
I didn't get a chance with being on Dad's After Dark yesterday. I got no prep done.
I get it. As I told you this morning, I've been in Itch Fest 2025, and I need to solve that. I'm trying not to scratch right now, so I'm headed to the doctor's office to get this solved, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Later, everyone.
Wait.